I just finished the most luxurious blanket, and I want to show you how you can have one like it. This is a double knitting board project. What it actually is a pair of the shawls from this book, Cabled Projects for Double Knitting Boards. Then the two panels are laid side by side and joined together with a special kind of a seam. Well, you don't have to use this special seam. It certainly adds a little bit of drama. So that's what I'm going to show you how to work today. This is what the edge of the fabric looks like. We'll lay the two edges together and work into the spot where the finger is pointing to join them. This project is made of 2 strands of yarn held together, so the seam will also be made with 2 strands held together. You can use a crochet hook or what I'm using, which is a latch tool from a bulky knitting machine. Also, a rug latch tool will do it. The last seaming stitch using the separate piece of yarn was worked into this spot. It was worked into the panel on the left, as you see. Now we'll move to the panel on the right, count up 2 rows, insert the tool next to those 2 edge strands of yarn, grab a new loop of yarn, doubled yarn in this case, and pull it through. Now I'll show you in real time. We most recently worked a stitch on the left. There's the most recent one on the right, but that was 2 rows ago. Now go up on the right, insert the tool, yarn over in crochet terms, pull through a loop. Make sure it is long enough to zigzag to and fro across, because that's what we'll do. On to the left, yarn over, pull through a loop. When we go into the fabric, we're going through the entire thickness. This isn't one strand on the edge. It's really pushing it through the very edge stitch so that we get a nice solid join that's in keeping with the thickness of the fabric. This seam certainly also works counting up 1 row above the previous stitch rather than 2, and it looks similar, but this bulky blanket I think looks better seamed going every other row, and that's fine because it saves some work as well. Yarn over, pull through, adjust the stitch length, count up 2 rows, yarn over, pull through. You may have seen something similar to this in the past done by laddering down already formed stitches and using the loose yarn from the ladder to latch. It is similar, but this particular method with a separate yarn is more suitable, in my opinion, to double knitting. The other one works well on single knitting. This is a long seam. If you ever find a spot that is not as even as you would like, just unravel it. It's a chain stitch, so it goes down really easy and you can redo it. Here is the initial yarn tail. The chain was started off in the usual way by knotting a loop into the yarn, and we went right into pushing the tool through one edge, pulling up a loop, and going to the other edge. Here is the final yarn tail. I've already trimmed it to a few inches long and pulled it through the final stitch. Now I work the tool up through the back of the fabric, grab the yarn tail, and all we have to do is pull it through and trim it off. Once it's snipped right there, it will be secure and close to invisible. Also weave in the initial yarn tail, and voila, a beautiful blanket. It may be a lot of knitting, but making it a blanket is no big deal at all.